All right, we get to talk about some farm life here. Talking about sheep and chickens here. There are 21 animals on Farmer Cole's farm, all sheep and chickens. So some are sheep and some are chickens. So we can say right away, we can say this equation. The number of sheep plus the number of chickens is going to have to equal 21. So S plus C must be equal to 21 because there's 21 animals and they're all sheep and chickens. Okay. If the animals have a total of 56 legs, how many of each type of animal live on this farm? Okay, let's think about this. A sheep has 4 legs, and a chicken has 2 legs. So, for every sheep, we're going to be talking about 4 legs. So, in other words, 4 times 4 for every sheep plus 2 legs for every chicken has got to be equal to 56 because that's how many legs they have altogether. Okay, so how many of each type of animal lives on this farm? We'll get to this by having our system here. Okay, so write a system of equations and then use elimination method to solve it. Well, just as before, just like with the fairies and the dragonflies, reading contextually helps to set up the equations really well. All right, as you can see, we need to eliminate one of these variables. I choose to eliminate C by getting a negative 2C here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take equation 1 and multiply equation 1 by negative 2. So I get negative 2 times S is negative 2S. Negative 2 times C is negative 2C. And that's equal to negative 2 times 21, which is negative 42. And the reason I did that, of course, was to make the C's disappear. So I'm going to do plus, I'm going to do underline. Oops, I meant to do underline to show that I am indeed adding the two equations together. And I have negative 2s plus 4s. So negative 2 plus 4 equals a total of positive 2s. And then I have negative 2c plus 2c. Those are going to cancel out, so it's going to be plus 0. And then it's going to be equal to negative 42 plus 56. I'm going to figure it out, but then I'm going to test it in Desmos just so I'm sure that I'm right. Negative plus a positive. The positive is larger, so it's going to be positive 14. But let's take a look at that in Desmos. Negative 42 plus 56, just to be sure. Negative 42 plus 56, positive 14. Okay, cool. So we can rewrite this equation as 2s is equal to 14. And then we can rewrite it as S is equal to 7. Anyway, our new equation, at first, it's always nice to write the new equation. This is the new equation using the elimination method. The cool thing about it is that it only has one variable, and that's the whole point. All right, so we've solved it. We figured out that the number of sheep equals 7. And then we also know that S plus C must equal 21. So we're going to use the number of sheep to find the number of chickens. So if the sheep is 7, I will replace that S with a 7. And if 7 plus C equals 21, then I'll subtract 7 from both sides of the equation. And the number of chickens will be equal to 14. Awesome. All right. Very wise to check in Desmos to see if these graph as we expect them to. So we'll go back to Desmos. And you know, S plus C equals 21. I'm going to say X plus Y equals 21 so that Desmos recognizes it as something it needs to graph. So X plus Y equals 21. Do we have that? There it is. And then our other equation is 4x plus 2y equals 56. Again, I'm changing the s's to x's and the c's to y's. So we've got that, and we've got this solution. So let's drag that over here. Our solution here is 7, 14. So 7 sheep, 14 chickens. We got this. Awesome. Enjoy.